Now we're gonna leave the post office and we're gonna go to a different place. It's gonna be interesting because one of the viewers said to go through a particular section where there's some blinking yellow lights by the fire station. So we're gonna see if the car slows down like the way it used to do in FSD 12. Plus, it's gonna be an interesting route. So the navigation's already in place. I am going to activate reverse, and first I'm gonna see if it backs out. It won't. I don't see a little steering wheel here, so I'm gonna have to reverse myself out of the parking spot. There's someone behind me, so I'm gonna there's 3 cars coming, so I'm gonna wait for them. But yeah, I can't activate it, so it won't reverse out of the parking lot. So I wish it did it. I think FSD 13 is doing that on the Model Ys that have it. So I have a Model Y that is capable of FSD 13, but that particular car does not have FSD active. So now let's see. Okay, so now we have the steering wheel activation ready, and we are on hurry mode. It's taking quite the wide turn to exit here. I'm not sure why. Maybe the shadows and whatnot. But it's weird. The navigation route here it's not taking the navigation route, but it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is interesting. All right, here we go. It's gonna be about 15 minutes according to the navigation here. So let's see how the car does. And I'm going to try to comment on any differences that I see from previous versions. I already see that it adjusted. Wow, that was really dry wipe. I already see some differences to the way it's doing things now compared to the way it was before. For the better, at least. That's good. And let's see, we have 5.5 miles of driving to do with FSD 13 to the place where we're going. Hopefully it doesn't readjust the navigation and we miss the part that I wanted to do. So I can always check that by expanding this. It's still keeping the same route that we wanted to do, so we're gonna do that. Pay attention to the road. So it's very picky when you start looking around. So I'm gonna stay focused. Someone's coming. The car slowed down. There's another one coming, but we're getting out. Yep, perfect. Car that was coming did not reach. Now it's when they reached where we were, so that was good. Quite a few left and right hand turns on this route, so we get to experience everything. We saw already that the Cybertruck did not reverse out of the parking spot. I wish it did that. I need to confirm to make sure that that is indeed something that version 13 is actually doing on the other cars. All right, we're gonna turn left here, and it's gonna be quite the drive for a couple of traffic lights until we reach where we're going. So let's see how it does. Please pay attention to the road. Wow, that's great. It did not invade the left lane on the turning. That was good. It used to be kind of 2 wheels on the other side if there were no cars. If there was a car, then it would stay here. But now there was no cars on the left side, and it still stayed in the center lane, which is good. Unbelievable, the progress that we have seen between FSD, back in October 2020 till now. And the thing is that it's not every time that there's an update, it's not exponential changes. It's slowly getting there, right? There have been some step changes that have made it very different, but for the most part, those happen with a lot of regressions at first, because they have changed the approach on how they're coding the solution. So now they're leveraging more AI than in the past, where they had stuff like really hard coded. This is different to yesterday. I guess because it's going to pass this car, it changed lanes to the fast lane, but yesterday we stayed on the center lane the whole way. Man, the precision, except for the precision of the windshield wiper, the precision on accelerating and, and braking, uh, it's quite interesting to see. Like now, that is a very, very big change compared to the past, because in the past it was very jerky, and now it's more like a person, right? Doesn't make you feel nauseous or anything like that. So I don't want to speed up the video, even in this stops on red lights. So I'm going to take this moment to remind you that if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that, because that way you won't miss. Like if you subscribe with notifications turned on, the system will remind you whenever we publish a new video. Whether it's on one platform or the other, just make sure that you have the follow selected and the notifications turned on for all my posts, or my either videos, or if you're watching on X, all my posts. I'm publishing content in multiple places, so you have different options. And now I think we should be on the middle lane, because we're not going to pass any cars, but there's a car kind of behind us to the right, so maybe that's why it hasn't left the fast lane. Just gonna let it do its thing. I'm not backing anyone, I'm not slowing people down or anything like that, so I'm okay with it. Kind of interesting. I thought it was much closer, so this is gonna be a long-ish drive. Please pay attention to the road. I don't want to remove the hat because I have my microphones on the hat right now. That way, if I move my face around, the microphone doesn't get far from my mouth. You can still hear me at the same volume. But if I keep my head up, the little green light here, I don't know if you can see that from there, but the little green light advises that it's still monitoring you. So I'm gonna stay like this. Again, let me know if you have FSD, what car you have, and what version of FSD you're on. If you want me to do any specific type of test, let me know. Maybe I can find those places that you want to see the car doing stuff at. But I'm going to do 1 or 2 videos like this every day, hopefully, while I work on my other content, which is great because I have a variety of different types of videos on the channel. And here we go again. So I'm trying to whip these videos out as quick as I can and with as little complications when I'm recording as possible. I am waiting to put a different setup on the car when I'm going to be doing FSD videos, but that's going to happen in a couple of days. So I need to implement a new setup. I'm always going to have 2 cameras like I used to do in the past, but I don't want to do it very fancy and spend too much time on the technology. I want to show the way that the car's driving as much as I can, uncut if possible. So let me know when you see those different format videos, if you like them, if you want me to change something on them. But right now we are we just left the city of, we're almost leaving the city of Sunrise and heading into the city of Plantation in a moment. So we're in South Florida, here in the state of Florida, not far from Miami. I want to say we're about 30 minutes north of Miami, 20 of the county. So quite a bit of traffic now. And we should be changing lanes to the right side soon, hopefully. But we are kind of trapped here with cars on each side. And these guys are going slow. The car wants to change lanes. It put the signal already. But there was someone coming, so it's waiting. Maybe it'll do it now. Well, I guess it decided to stay here. Okay. So this particular test, besides showing the way that it's driving, we're trying to hunt down a particular spot where FSD 12 was braking hard on yellow emergency lights by a fire station. And we just want to see what it does now on this version. It's just about a mile ahead, so 1,600 meters ahead. It's gonna be a right-hand turn, and I think by then we're gonna have already gone through the yellow blinking lights. Let's see. I read on the release notes or on the actual documentation of how Harry mode works. It just goes with the flow of traffic, so it will exceed the speeds that are normal if the rest of the traffic is going at that speed to keep it safe. So here's the yellow traffic light. Let's see if it slows down or not. So far so good. I'm not doing anything perfect. It just went through, no drama, no issues. This is perfect. So now we can head back to the next point. Let me force the car. It's telling me to pay attention to the road. I'm just gonna remove that spot that we already passed because it wants to do a loop, and we're gonna head back to the place where we started earlier today. And it just selected its own new route according to this. Oh, so it wants to turn around, so it just randomly selected to do a U-turn, I guess, in this community. I want to see what happens here. I'm not going to disengage this. This is going to be awesome if it does it. Oh, it didn't do a U-turn. So it's just driving around. It's figuring out what to do, how to get out of here. So this is good. I mean, a human would just do a U-turn right there, maybe a 3-point turn at most, but it's perfect. It's figuring out how to leave this place, and it always selects the route that takes the less time, but it also considers if there's like issues with the weather or the traffic, so it reroutes if it's going to save 10 minutes or more. And right now it just decided that the best route is basically the way we came. So it went around this community, yeah, and now we're about to leave it. This is just perfection, really. Maybe the judgment would be different by a human, but the car is doing absolutely everything on its own. So this is literally, this is a robot driving, mind of its own. It's perfect. Just this is bunkers. Beautiful. All right, so we're heading out now, back to the park, and it's about 4 miles from here. Probably not very complex, but there is more traffic now, so it's going to be interesting. And the other thing is that we get a double whammy. We're going to go through the yellow blinking lights again now on the way up, so that's going to be cool.
It would be nice if they show the yellow blinking lights on the screen.
That would be really, yeah. Nancy has a good point. So the emergency light is up here, and maybe I don't know if they have the data. They could do that. Otherwise, maybe they can show it when the car sees the traffic lights, just like they do with the other ones. Put a little sign there. I have seen emergency lights like those showing up like traffic lights on the map before, but it doesn't happen very often. It's like a fluke when it happens.
Yeah. Or even the color on the screen.
Okay, here we go.
Green versus yellow.
Mm-hmm. right. So here we go. The traffic, the blinking light is like right in front of us. And I am not close to the accelerator right now. Um, Now there's a car that's crossing the road. So the car's gonna have to slow down a little bit, but it's not jerking. You see that? It didn't even slow down. It's perfect. It's just going with the flow. There's the fire station here. Success twice going through that light. And now we're heading back to the park. The car doesn't want to stay behind the slower car. That's good. I think we're losing air somewhere. I heard some.
No, that was
You have to speak loud.
I think that when you're on the opposite, right? The traffic lights are on this lane right now, right? We face the traffic lights, the emergency lights, right? And it seems kind of like yellowish, but on the opposite, it seems yellow. So I want to see the recording. I mean, it seems green on the opposite and yellow when you cross it right under.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. It was yellow on both sides.
But on the screen,
On the screen, it showed a green light?
it showed green when we were on the opposite, side of the lanes.
Really?
Versus crossing right under.
I didn't notice that.
That's why I want to just double check that. Interesting.
The car is saying, please pay attention to the road. Let me open my eyes up here. So now I didn't touch the wheel and the message went away. So it is monitoring my eyes.
Yeah.
According to this, we have another 7 minutes. So this is going to be a little bit on the longer side, this video. But I think this is a good one because we showed a couple of new things that the car wasn't doing before. But, I was traveling the continent with FSD 12. I didn't do much city driving here. So I don't really have a lot of comparison videos. But the person that did make the request to go through that area was right on the money because I remembered mine doing that every now and then. So that issue has been solved and I like it. If you didn't know already, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rafael and I make videos of travel adventures, also some of this stuff with FSD. I have been testing FSD for Tesla since October 2020. I used to do a lot of FSD videos, but I stopped for a while because there was so much content about that and I like to make videos of travel adventures. But I'm back doing this because I think it's important to spread the information to as many people as possible. So if you're not subscribed to the channel or you want to help support, go ahead and subscribe. I also have paid subscriptions, memberships here or on the other platforms. So you can do that as well as joining me on Patreon. In other places, you will find me as Teslatino. So I do appreciate you viewing my videos and commenting on them, so keep doing that, but just make sure that you're subscribed with your notifications on so you don't miss any of the future videos, okay? And now, so I remember that where the car wants to turn now is a little, it's a small road that has a when you're turning into the left, there's a little only turning lane after you turn off the main road. And it used to just fall into that because that was on the far left side. Hopefully now it stays on the outside where it needs to be to stay straight. And then we make a right on the park. So let's see if that happens. I want to see if... Oh, it's actually taking a different route. I thought it was gonna go through here. So we're not gonna be able to see that if I just don't want to change the navigation right now because I think it's important to see how the car behaves with the route that it's selected. So we're just gonna leave it there, and hopefully that left turn we can view it on a future video. So the weather got nice again. It was pretty crappy earlier today, and I think we have a regression here. Actually, it has nothing to do with the way the car drives, but this dry wiping of the windshield wasn't happening. I haven't seen that in months, and since FSD 13 got added, it's been doing it for the past 2 days. So I don't know if that's just coincidence or it's actual a regression, something they left out. So the good news is that I haven't had any disengagements, right? So I haven't been needed to press on the snapshot button, which is great. Yeah, exactly. For the next drive that I do with Nancy, I'm gonna mic her up so that you can hear her, when she makes small comments, because she's pretty far from the microphone right now. Here we go. Let's see how this final stretch of the drive goes. So we're gonna turn right after the next traffic light, like a block down, we're gonna turn left. And that is the reason why we're on the left lane right now. But I did not force the car to be on the left lane. It did it all on its own. What?
He likes the fast lane.
No, she said the car likes the fast lane. It does. But at the same time, right now, it's where it needs to be able to turn without cutting people off. So, and we are in hurry mode. We need to keep that in mind. So it wants to. I'm guessing that it actually takes precedence for rushing instead of being most chill.
It's gonna take the shortcut.
Yeah, it is going to take a little bit of a shortcut. Honestly, I think the best way is not the way that it's gonna do it. However, for the video, I think this is a better way, because instead of so the preferred route for me would be to go straight and then make a left, and we're there. Now it's gonna take this, so we're gonna make a left here, make a right, and make another right to then turn left to the park. So that was the better route in my opinion. Let's see, this is an unprotected left, and it stayed on the left side. Now we're gonna make a right-hand turn further ahead. Oh yeah, it changed. So that was better than yesterday. Yesterday, when I took this route, it took the right lane further up, and now it did it much sooner. Oh, it made a mistake with the navigation. It wants to turn into some community that's here. This is not gonna work out. Yeah, that's not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. So this is a navigation error. This is not the car driving incorrectly. So what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna give it a new pin. We're gonna give it a new pin. I wanna wait. I wonder if it's gonna figure out that it messed up the navigation. I don't think it will, because this is a common problem. I've seen this in Google Maps often. Going to that park, I've seen the same thing happen over and over again. This is not going to work out. So what's going to happen right now is that it's going to finish the navigation up here, dry wipe the windshield for good measure, and then we basically arrived at the destination closest to the pin. Okay, but see, it just finished, and it didn't complain, so it thinks that we actually finished the navigation. So what I'm gonna do here right now is that I'm going to try to figure out if I can convince the car to go to the park. So I'm going to do that here, put that, head out. There we go. So now we did it. So let's activate FSD one more time and get to the park. This is what we needed to do. I'm not sure if it's because the pin was so close to the road, but it should know better. I don't think this is the fault of the car. I think this is the navigation logic. Something there is not, it's just not right, because it happens half of the time when I want to go do a test drive to the park. Half of the time it does that. So next time I'll remember to put the pin closer to the actual park, not to parking spots that are outside, close to the road. But I should not need to do that. I should be able to just tell the car exactly where I want to go, and it should be able to figure out how to get there. That's my opinion, because imagine that this was like a taxi ride, and it's gonna drop the person in a community that you can't really cross over to where you need to go to the park. You're gonna have to then walk outside the community for a good mile to get to the final spot. So that's not good. We need to make sure that the navigation is the way that it should. So there's a car coming, and the car moved over really well. Okay, we're about 2 minutes away from finishing this video. There's no one coming from the left side, and I was going to disengage, but I didn't, because it corrected quickly. It kind of took a little bit of a wide turn. It did see that there were no cars coming, so maybe that's why it did that. So far, no actual errors by the way the car's been driving, but a navigation mistake put us in the wrong destination, which is unfortunate, because that was a pretty cool drive.
It's good to know.
Did the stop, stayed on the right side. Now we're gonna make another right, and we should be heading to the park now. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed this ride. Now we're gonna see if the car actually parks itself again. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So we'll see, and then we'll just... What is this guy doing? Look at that. This is South Florida drivers for you. Passing, there's a yellow line. I'm going the speed limit here. There's a school here. Like, I don't know what the rush is, but we made it to the park. We were on that side, in that community, on the other side of that fence, and now we're here in the park, and the car is almost at the pin. Let's see what it does. Okay, I think the car is parking itself. Is it? It's not. It's just hanging here in the middle of the road.
Okay, maybe it could be where the pin is.
Yeah, we reached the pin, so I'm not sure. Like, now I can tell the car to park. So let's do that. Let's just let the car park itself. I want to say that that's not good, but at the same time, am I supposed to expect the car to just park at this point of the version? Maybe not. I don't know. So I'm gonna check the release notes later, but we basically got to the destination, and we had to tell the car where to park instead of it looking for a parking spot, which I think that's what the Model Ys are doing. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget again to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.